Gunmen shoot up another armored truck, injuring two security guards. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Two security guards picked up Khan when two carload of gunmen attempted to rob the armored truck while delivering cash to a Scotiabank in Portmore. This is the same area where a previous robbery took place a few weeks ago. In that incident, a security guard was killed. In this robbery yesterday, the security guards came under a barrage of shots, but from the video showing the gunmen backing up and some running, it seemed that the squaddies were returning fire. The gunmen made a hasty retreat, jumped into their vehicles, and fled. The two cars were found abandoned a short distance from the robbery. The injured guards were rushed to hospital. And of course, we can't forget, did the Prime Minister not say if you elect me, you'll be able to sleep with your door open? People actually believe him when he said so. Over here in the United States, former U.S. President Donald Trump said on Saturday that he expects to be arrested in connection with the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation on Tuesday and has now urged supporters to protest on his behalf. In a Saturday social media post, Trump described himself as the leading Republican candidate and former President of the United States, saying that he will be arrested on Tuesday. Protests, take back our country, he urged in his post. However, the district attorney did not say he was going to be arrested or even indicted. So what he's doing is starting to panic and see if he can get some supporters to start some kind of turmoil as is taking place in France and Pakistan right now. Hundreds of his supporters who took part in the overthrow of the government on January 6 of 2021 are either in jail or waiting for trial. So none of them afraid to come forward now. They're going to jail one by one. This is not Jamaica. And just Thursday of last week, one of them, Mitchell Todd Gardner, of a Florida address, was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. So they're all being tried and going to jail one by one. This is normal behavior for cowards though. They start trouble, and when it comes, they can't defend it. So they call out Dunce Billy for help. Back in Jamaica, UK's President Vincent Morrison says he will seek legal advice on the fate of security guards before the April 1 deadline for transition to employee status. Security companies across Jamaica have written to the guards informing them that their working conditions will change beginning next month and to being employed to one-year contracts. Following meetings with security guards, Mr. Morrison said that the court may be required to address the issue as the new one-year contracts are inferior to the previous arrangements. Meanwhile, 3 men were left nursing gunshot wounds following a drive-by shooting on Birdsucker Lane of Barbican Road in St. Andrew on Saturday evening. According to the police, the men were at a bar when a car drove up and the occupants shot at them. The men were rushed to hospital after the incident. Police confirmed the incident, but the names of the victims are being withheld. And every day this type of shooting happens someplace in Jamaica. Car drive up, men open fire on crowd, and people dead. Meanwhile, 2 men were shot and injured by gunmen on Saturday morning in Lacovia in St. Elizabeth. The gunmen allegedly shot up a vehicle near the Dry Harbor Main Road entrance in Lacovia. One of the injured men is a taxi driver who was driving at the time of the shooting, while the other is a male passenger. Both occupants of the vehicle were injured and rushed to the Black River Hospital. Over in St. Mary, the police in St. Mary have charged a 17-year-old boy who was arrested on Thursday in connection with a murder in Highgate in St. Mary. During a dispute, the teenager is said to have fatally stabbed 55-year-old Leopold Graham, also known as Gary or Patacat, a laborer on Hibiscus Avenue in Highgate. The police said that Mr. Graham and the teen got into an argument around 6:30 a.m., during which Graham hit him with a piece of board. According to reports, the teen then stabbed Graham with a knife. The police were called and Graham was taken to the hospital where he died. A Hanover shopkeeper was stabbed to death at his business establishment in Hopewell District in Sandy Bay on Saturday as well. Police reported that about 5:45 p.m., 21-year-old Christopher Hibbert was inside his business place when a man visited him. Shortly after, both men were seen in a physical confrontation. Following the altercation, Hibbert was seen suffering from what appeared to be multiple stab wounds, and it was discovered that a ratchet knife was used to stab the businessman several times. He was assisted to hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. The police have since been seeking to apprehend the killer who fled the area. And as the killing continues, gunmen pretending to be police officers shot and killed a man on Summit Lane in downtown Kingston in the wee hours of Saturday morning. 22-year-old Howard Hill, otherwise called Spanky from James Street in Kingston, was shot dead while at a house with 2 females. However, none of the other persons were hurt in the attack. and reports are that around 3:20 a.m., Hill was with two females when several men kicked on the door and identified themselves as police officers. And it's understood that the men kicked the door open, entered the house, and opened gunfire on Hill, hitting him in the head. The men then escaped on foot in the area. The now deceased was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the attack. Returning residents, this is your time again. Returning residents, if my warning is not loud enough, I want you to listen to this next story. A 62-year-old United States resident was abducted from Portmore St. Catherine, robbed, stabbed, and left for dead in Clarendon on Thursday. The woman, who is from Connecticut in the U.S. but also has a residence in Jamaica, arrived on the island last Wednesday. Police have since named a woman known only as Tamika Miles as a person of interest in connection with the incident. Miles is now being asked to turn herself over to the police as soon as possible. Reports are that the woman was visiting the island to make funeral arrangements for her sister who died recently. She was reportedly staying with relatives in Portmore. Police said around 10:30 a.m. on Thursday she met with a woman known as Tamika Miles at the Portmore Mall. The lady reportedly came to pick her up in a white motorcar with two men. After entering the vehicle and driving a short distance, the men attacked the woman, the police said. She was reportedly robbed of her handbag containing her personal belongings, stabbed several times, taken to Ginger Ridge in Clarendon, and thrown from the motorcar into a precipice. Residents of that community went to the woman's assistance after they heard her crying for help and observed her crawling out of the precipice. The residents summoned the police, who arrived and saw the badly injured woman with what appeared to be stab wounds to her chest. Lawmen subsequently assisted her to hospital, where she was admitted in serious but stable condition. Returning residents, be careful. Don't trust anybody when you go to Jamaica. Neither your friend them nor your family them. I mean, there's gonna be exception, but you have to be careful. Premier League on sports, Montego Bay United and Vere United played out a wet and muddy 3-all draw, while Harbourview and Tivoli played to a 2-2 draw as well. It was practically draw all day. Humble Lions and Arnett Gardens draw 1-1, and with this draw, Arnett remains on top with 38 points. Then the unexpected happens. Waterhouse clapped top dog Mount Pleasant 2-0 and threw them into third place, leaving them on 36 points, which is the same as Cavalier, who are also on 36 points. Cavalier will play Falkland this evening, and we're sure that Cavalier is going to probably win that game. And in the final game, which was played last night, Portmore wallop Dunbehodle 3-1. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube and type in Jamaican Undiluted News. Listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.